Donovan Mitchell has signed a 4-year, $273 million contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I find the timing on this really interesting because Donovan Mitchell could have waited a year and reportedly gotten a 5-year extension and been eligible for one for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Instead, Donovan Mitchell has decided to forego that and sign a 4-year contract now, which I don't think he would do if the front office was not confident that they were going to sign the now former Laker LeBron James, because the Cavs hadn't made any other moves this offseason. So what gives Donovan Mitchell an incentive to sign here long term?
Yeah, we've lost Dean Wade to the Philadelphia 76ers. We've lost Keon Ellis to the Brooklyn Nets. James Harden declined his player option, and he has not yet signed it. Reportedly, we are working on an extension with him, but nothing has happened there. And I feel like the Cavs have put all their eggs in the LeBron James basket. Although I have also heard that we are looking to bring in Jonathan Kuminga for some wing depth. So it sounds like we're trying to go after both LeBron and Kuminga. Although DeMar DeRozan is also out there. So
I want no part of old DeMar DeRozan. Let him go to Toronto and be a cheerleader on that Raptors team.
It sounds like Miami and Cleveland are the two main teams talking to him.
Well, of course, Miami's looking for anybody. Miami will bring someone out of a retirement home at this point to fill that roster.
But anyway, you're definitely right that the timing of this extension is peculiar. I think the Cavs have talked to Donovan Mitchell a lot about the construction of this team because we were just not good enough in that Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks. New York completely overmatched us. Even when we were winning by 22 in game one, I was like, there is no way we're holding on to this. Like, our team is not built to maintain a lead like this.
Well, again, Donovan Mitchell has been in the league for how many years? 8 or 9. And the storyline all last postseason was, could he finally get to a conference finals? He did, and then ended up not winning a game in the conference finals. And I was saying all postseason, I was very critical of Donovan Mitchell. I did not think he inserted himself as the guy every single night, especially when the Cavs needed him. I understand the Cavs did play a lot of isolation ball, sort of Donovan Mitchell or bust. But I said Donovan Mitchell's game reminds me a lot of Dwayne Wade. I just don't think he has the dog in him that Dwayne Wade had.
Sure. Dwayne Wade's one of my all-time favorite players, so I'm not sure how to feel about you saying that.
Well, I think what I'm saying is Mitchell has a very similar game, but he doesn't have the dog that Dwayne Wade had. I'm giving Wade a compliment.
Wade has one of the most cerebral minds in the NBA, and I don't always see that with Donovan Mitchell.
I mean, in terms of playing style, the crossover dribbles to get to the hoop, the mid-range jumpers, especially in Dwayne Wade's prime when they won that championship in 2006 in Miami. But again, Donovan Mitchell signing extension in Cleveland of all places, it does make me believe that, like, post LeBron, obviously they are going to want to invest in this team. But again, LeBron here or not, you have to think about what this team is going to be after this year, because then you might have to make a decision on Evan Mobley or Jared Allen. I mean, I don't know if those two guys can be together for their entire career, especially if you want Evan Mobley to develop into the player that maybe the Cavs still think he can be. We talked about the fact they've already lost Dean Wade. They've already lost Keon Ellis. Reportedly, they're trying to ship out Dennis Schroeder and maybe Max Strus as well. Like, again, the Cavs are sort of going all in, and this East is a different East. It's a lot of new-look teams, the Raptors, the Sixers. Who knows what Detroit's going to do? There's still some off-season time. Obviously, the defending champions are in there. The Boston Celtics are still the Boston Celtics, regardless of what you think of that Jaylen Brown for Paul George trade. So, almost everybody in the East, maybe outside of Detroit, who's a legitimate contender, has at least made a move yet outside of the Cavs.
Plus, Indiana, I think, is going to be back in the mix this season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with Indiana. We'll see. Obviously, the 2024 finals run was sort of a 1-year media darling-esque run, or if it's going to be a sustainable run. I really like Tyrese Halliburton. But as I keep saying, the East is a collection of a bunch of really good players. If LeBron does join this team, the Cavs will be the favorite in the East. If he doesn't, and let's say they do pivot to a Jonathan Kuminga, they're probably in the same situation they were a 4 or 5 seed, which again, if Donovan Mitchell really wants to win a championship, I don't know why you are committing long-term to this team. And I'll say this, though, about extensions. We've seen in the NBA, guys like Anthony Davis sign an extension with the Pelicans. A year later, ask out, he gets traded to the Lakers. So guys can sign extensions and want to be traded and things go south very quickly. I just find the timing of the Mitchell one here very particular because of what this Cavs structure is made up of.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder, if they bring LeBron in, is Kenny Atkinson on the hot seat? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you fire the coach just for because honest to God, I believe the agreement from LeBron and Dan Gilbert is LeBron is going to play while also then transitioning over or to be a minor owner in the Cavs and potentially future majority ownership. I do believe that maybe that's what some of this is coming down to. It's sort of weird, right? In 2010, we all knew about the Dan Gilbert letter that he wrote about LeBron, and here we are in 2026, and people are saying that Cavs ownership is actually one of the main reasons why LeBron would want to come back here.
Everything I'm seeing on social media is LeBron is in Cleveland or he's doing this and that in Akron. And, it's crazy, honestly.
And now that I don't read a lot into, I mean, we know LeBron likes to troll on social media. We know he's from here. We know he comes back here every summer. Even when he was in Miami, he would come back here in the summers to his abode, if you will. I believe in township there close to Akron, Ohio. But yeah, I don't know. The Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland thing obviously did not work. I still don't think the Donovan Mitchell, James Harden thing works. But yet somehow it feels like LeBron's the magic piece that puts it all together. I don't know how.
As I said, I think LeBron, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley work together. I think that trio works. James Harden feels like the odd man out.
Which is why I do think that the one thing Harden did that Garland didn't do maybe enough of was take more pressure off Mitchell, especially in the regular season, off the ball.
Which, by the way, did you see the whiteboard thing where Rich Paul said, they like Darius Garland?
So
you know about that whole thing?
Yeah, I do. And 2 things about that. Number one, of course, Rich Paul was going to say that. Why? Because Darius Garland is a clutch client. So that's number one. Number 2, I think that whole whiteboard was just for show. I don't think it was a real whiteboard. I think that Rich Paul made that whiteboard up for that podcast with Max Kellerman to get people interested, to get people to talk on social media about LeBron. Because the truth is, LeBron's value is not, Rich Paul came out and said, I think I've heard from 28 teams about LeBron. No, you haven't.
Yeah. I think it's also interesting that from what I've read, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's Rich Paul talking to these teams. It's not LeBron.
Which, again, I don't even think they're talking. If you want me to be honest with you, I think LeBron has already made his decision. And I haven't bought Miami at all. I think Golden State was a legitimate possibility until they re-signed Kristaps Porzingis, and it was clear that they weren't going to get Anthony Davis. And now I think it is. figuring out, and again, I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, I will admit it. But I think this is just figuring out the logistics and timing of when to announce he's returning to Cleveland.
We shall see. But again, I like the trio of Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and LeBron. I think they will play really well together. Donovan Mitchell can be the primary scorer in that. LeBron doesn't have to be playing up 30 points a game in that scenario.
Here's the other thing. LeBron doesn't even have to score. If you think about what LeBron's job would be on this team, it would be very similar to like if he joined the Spurs. Just teach these guys how to win. Be a mentor. Be a leader. Yeah, he doesn't have to score. Now, he could on nights where Mitchell and Harden and maybe Mobley are off, and some nights you need him to go vintage LeBron and go 38 and 8. But for 50 games, and let's say he doesn't even play all 82. Let's say he plays 60 games. For 50 of them, if he's averaging, 17 and 5 and 4, that's easily enough for this team.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I liked the lob threat that Evan Mobley would give for LeBron. That pick and roll would be fantastic to watch because you could have Mobley setting the pick. LeBron can drive the lane. Oh, easy kick out to Donovan Mitchell, who also is capable of driving to the lane. Don't get me wrong. But again, yes, James Harden can be that spot-up shooter, but I just don't know how Harden fits in with the rest. Harden, for me, is the oddball here. I want Jared Allen to work. I think he can. It's a little bit more challenging. But again, for me, James Harden is the odd man out in this particular scenario. I just don't see how he fits in.
Well, it'll obviously be interesting to see. We're going to monitor. I think LeBron can make his decision this weekend. Typically, the timing of it has been July 9th, 2010. He announces he's going to Miami. And then July 11th, 2014, he announced he's going back to Cleveland. July 1st, 2018 is when he announced he was joining the Lakers. So you would think it would be sometime this week.
Okay. Let's say they bring in both Kuminga and LeBron, because I think there's a scenario where that happens. Do you think they possibly bring James Harden off the bench?
To me, if you're bringing in Kuminga and LeBron, I think Kuminga is the one coming off the bench.
Interesting.
Oh, I mean, this is crazy. This may sound crazy, but maybe LeBron be willing to do it. Maybe LeBron's the one you bring off the bench.
I don't know about that. But again, I know I mentioned this last week, but just think about this. He's going into his 24th season. He's going to be 42 years old. And we're having this type of conversation about not just what type of impact he would have on the Cavs if he were to come back, but we're talking about what type of impact he would have on the rest of the Eastern Conference if he were to come back. Just think about that aspect for a second.
Oh, I've thought about it for the last 3 years when I've been claiming for LeBron to come back. And I've been waiting and hoping, and we'll see if it happens.
That's the thing that's really front of mind when it comes to this whole conversation is not the on the court stuff, just the fact that we're having this whole conversation about a guy who's going into his 24th season and he's 42 years old, or he's going to be 42 years old. Just that aspect is just so front of mind for me. It's this is unprecedented. It really is. When's the next time we're going to see a player go into his 24th season and we're having this type of conversation? Especially when you've got the defending champions in your own conference.
Right?